Hi everybody, welcome to Pilates Bar Fusion. We'll give everyone a second to join in and then we'll get started. So we're going to start with just a warm up in the center of the room. I just want to make sure everybody can see my feet. Okay, so we're just going to stand about hip distance apart and arms are out to the side and you're just going to let them circle. So as you do this, you want to make sure you slide your shoulder blades down your back, reach the fingers long, and keep your chest lifted. So as you do this, you have to engage your core so that this doesn't happen. Okay, so really activate your core, pull your belly button in, and just circling. Now we're going to reverse the circles. So reach my fingers super long. Make sure that my scapula is neutral. Keep those shoulders away from your ears and your head is just lifted. Good, and then arms just going to swing just a little bit, just warming up, feeling some movement. Just try to move the arms without elevating your scapula. Just keeping shoulders away from your ears. I'm going to bring my arms above my head and I want to make sure that I don't lift. So slide those down and now you make circles up here. Keep your ribs closed, keep your belly button drawn in, and now reverse. Good, and then arms come by your side. I'm just going to draw my chin to my chest, so stretching my head and neck forward. And then coming through the center, head goes back. And then back through the center, go again, chin to chest, so feeling a stretch at the back of your neck. And then head comes up, all the way back. And then head comes up. So now I'm going to turn my head over to my right. Back through the center, turn it to the left. And back to the center, going right. And back through the center, going left. And back through the center. Now I'm going to bring my right ear to my right shoulder. And as I do this, I want to reach my right arm to the floor. And then coming back up, and then the other side. So left ear to left shoulder. And then coming back up, and one more time each side. And then back up. Last time. Great. So from here, having the feet in rotation, my hands are just going to be on my hips. I'm just going to bend my knees and extend my legs. And as I do this, I dig through my heels, I lift my chest, and I activate my glutes. So when I'm doing this kind of movement, it's more like a plie than a squat. So rather than sticking my bum out and hinging forward at my hip, I want to feel like there's a string attached to the top of my head, and then I'm just sliding down the wall. Or I'm fitting inside the toaster, okay? So down and up. Doesn't have to be super low. You don't want to get into your knees. We're just trying to warm up the legs. So now I'm going to stay low. I'm going to lift my heels and then lower my heels. Lift and lower. So working through the feet. If any time we do something on high half toe and you don't want to do that, you can stay flat feet. So this time I keep my heels up, and now I just pulse here. Keeping the chest lifted, the shoulders away from your ears. Now I'm going to stay low and only drop the right foot, down and up. Still making sure my pelvis is neutral, so I'm still inside the toaster. Now other side. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now both at the same time. So I'm trying to really only move through my feet, so not a lot of change through the rest of my body. 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. I'm going to step a little tiny bit wider. I'm going to turn my toes forward. I'm going to roll myself down so that my hands come to the floor. And then I'm going to take both hands around my right ankle and draw my nose to my knees. And then I come back through the center and I go left. And then back through the center. So from here, light touch on the floor, and I'm going to lift my heels and lower my heels. Lift and lower. So lift and lower. For 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Heels stay down. I'm going to bend my knees and extend my legs. Bend the knees and extend the legs. So just kind of warming up the hips, feeling hamstrings. Now last one, I bend my knees, I lift my heels. Now I extend my legs, bend my knees. So my range is a little bit different now because I'm on my toes. For 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and then heels down. So I'm going to roll up slowly, and I'll turn and face front. So I'm going to walk myself out into like an inchworm. Find plank. I'm going to do 1 push-up. Then I'm going to press myself back. I'm going to walk all the way back in and roll up tall. So I think I have space to do this here. If when you get into your plank, you need to drop down to your knees and do your push-up, you can do that as well. Okay, then you're just going to tuck back and then walk yourself back in and then rolling up slowly. So again, walking out, finding your plank, little push up here, press up, walk back. We're going to do this 2 more times. Rolling down, keeping the belly button drawn in. Making sure your neck is long. Drop down into your push up. Squeeze your bum, squeeze your inner thighs, and then rolling back up. Last time like this. Rolling down, walking out, push up here, press up, and walk back. And then rolling up slowly with control. So just getting the heart rate up a little bit. I'm going to have my legs in rotation to start. Just going to have my hands on my hips, or you can cross your hands in front of you. I'm going to do a knee bend. I'm going to jump in. I jump out and squat. In, and then out. Keep the chest lifted if you can. Just a little burst of cardio. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay here in little pulses. for 10. Just little hops, we call them sautés, down and up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pulse here. Keep your chest lifted. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Legs extend. Let's come to your bar. So today I'm using this as my bar. Hopefully it's not too busy and you can see what I'm doing. So I just have a light touch on the bar. My feet are in first position. I'm standing nice and tall. So I might angle myself out a little bit so that you can see me. I'm going to bend my knees here for 8. So down and up, and 2, and 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and I step wide. 8, and 7, and 6, and 5, and 4, 3, 2, and 1. Step in for 4. 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and wide. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Step in for 2. Down, down, wide, down. Again for 2. 1, 2, wide, 1, 2. Now singles. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. For 8, and 7, and 6, and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now you're going to come in. I'm going to come right up on my toes. Again, you can stay flat. 8, and up, and 7, and 6, and 5. Squeeze your bum. And 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Step wide. 8, and 7, and 6, and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Step in. 4, and 3, 2, and 1. Step wide. 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Step in for 2. Down, up, down, step wide. Down, up, down. Come in again. 1, 2, wide. Up, singles. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. 8 more here. 8, and 7, and 6, and 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. I come in. I'm going to turn to the other side. First, I open a window in here. It's very hot. How about 2 windows? Oh, perfect. Okay. So I'm back. Sorry about that. Heels down. Starting with 8. 8, and up, and 7, and 6, and 5, 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Open. 8, and 7, and 6, and 5, and 4, 3, 2. Stepping in for 4. 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Step wide. 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Stepping in for 2. Down, up, down. Step wide. Down, up, down again. 2. In, wide, out, out. Singles. In, out, in, out, in, out. Keep the chest lifted for 8, and 7, and 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Right up on the toes. 8, and up, and 7, and 6, and 5. Squeeze your bum, stand tall. 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, step wide, 8 and 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, stepping in for 4, 4 and 3, 2, 1, step wide, 4, 3, 2, 1, stepping in for 2, and wide, and again 2, and wide. Now singles, in, out, in. If you need to be flat feet, you can be flat feet here. For 8, and 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the heels, walk the hands forward, and just stretch it out. Shake the bum a little. And then rolling back up. Now I'm going to face my bar, light touch on the bar, and I have my feet in first position. So I'm going to pretend that I'm both hands on the bar just so that you can see me. Tendu here. So I'm going back and close and back and close. Head is up. I drag my toe along the floor so I can engage my inner thighs. And 7, and 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now I bend the knee a little, out and up. So my inner knee, or my opposite knee, because we're facing the bar, is bending, okay? So 8, and 7, and 6, 5, 4, 3, and 2, and 1. This time I come out, my knee is bent, my toe is pointing towards the floor, and I'm up and down here, up and down. I'm trying to stand upright here, so I don't worry about how high my leg is going. For 8, and 7, and 6, and 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. And I'm going to pulse here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 8 more here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right back to the beginning, same leg. And close. So standing nice and tall. Eight more here. For 8, and 7, and 6, and 5, 4. You should be feeling your supporting leg. 3, and 2, and 1. Now the bent knee. 8, and 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 8 more. 8, and 7, and 6, and 5, 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. This time, bend my knee, out and in, out and in. So really feeling my hip on the supporting leg. Eight more here. 8, and 7, and 6, and 5, 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. We pulse here. Eight more here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and come in. Right away, other side. So just tendu and close. So we want your feet to slide nicely. Mine are kind of sticking and squeaking on my floor here. But but you can always wear a sock. 8 more here. 8, and close, and 7, and 6, and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now with the bent knee, out and close. So squeezing your bum. Eight more here. 8, and up, and 7, and 6, and 5, and 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now bend my knee up and down here. So try to lead with my knee and not with my toe or my foot. Eight more here. 8, and 7, and 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and pause here. 8 more here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming back in right away at the beginning. Close. Eight more here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now with the knee bend and up. So should be feeling your glutes here. Of course, I feel my supporting hip and knee because I'm trying to stand nice and tall and lifted out of my hips. 8 more. 8, and 7, and 6, and 5, 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Bend the knee, out and up. Eight more here. So 8, and 7, and 6, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 8 pulses here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 8 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh my gosh, my leg was shaking. So taking the supporting leg, cross an ankle over knee, and just sit back a bit. And then other side, taking that supporting knee, you can press your hand into your bent and open knee to get a little more stretch if you want. Great job. So we're going to come down to the floor just for a few minutes. We might come back up again. I'm going to move my mat so that you can see me. Oh, see me? Yeah. Right back here. I had to move some furniture. That's why I'm in a funny spot. And I'm practically invisible with my camera today, so maybe that wasn't a good choice. So lying on the mat, knees are bent and feet are on the floor. Hands behind your head, shoulders down, elbows forward. Just going to cup and down in flexion. I'm staying neutral here because my feet are on the floor. So pubic bone, hip bones, same plane. Eye gaze over the tops of my knees. This time I come up, I go to one side, back to the center, other side, center, lower down, curl up, over, center, lower down, exhale up, over, center, lower down, up, rotate over, back to the center, lower down, 4 more, up, over, center, down, 3, down, 2, over, over, last time, over, over, and lower down. So from here, I'm going to go side to side. So I come up in flexion, and I'm just trying to reach my ankle with the opposite hand. My eye gaze is over the tops of my knees because I want to make sure that I don't leave my head behind. So I'm going from side to side. I'm going to go to the right, and I'm going to pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Other side, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then lower down. So bringing my heels in towards my seat a little bit more. You might have to adjust your ponytail. I'm going to come up into a bridge, and then I'm going to lower down. And right up into a bridge, and lower down. And if you have a ball, and you want to make it a little bit harder, you can squeeze the ball between your knees. You have to remember to keep the knees in perfect hip distance. So if you have the ball there, it reminds you to use your inner thighs. So keep my ribs closed. I'm neutral on a diagonal, so I'm not trying to push my pubic bone up too high. I'm squeezing my bum like crazy. I'm going to come up and I'm going to pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay here. I'm going to take my left foot, tap it out, take my right, tap it out, left, and tap, and right, and tap. I'm trying not to lose the height I have here. I'm trying not to drop in my hip. 4 more here. So 4, and 3, and 2. Last time. Stay here. Pulse bum for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then come down. I'm going to have my feet together, have my knees in rotation. I'm going to try to anchor my feet on the floor, but I'm going to come up into my bridge and lower down. Up and then lower. So up and lower, up and lower. So I feel my glutes a lot because I'm in rotation here. And I feel them because I've already activated them, woken them up with our rear leg extension and our first set of bridges. So up and down. Now I'm going to come up and I'm going to pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close my knees, open my knees. So I exhale as I close, inhale to open, trying to keep that elevation. Double time, open, close, open, close, open, close. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pulse up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and come down. From here, knees wide open, hands behind your head again for some head and neck support. And I'm just going to curl right up the center and lower down. And curl up, and then lower down. Up, and then lower, up, and then lower. So I'm trying not to bring my pubic bone up towards my hips. Good. So 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and now we pulse 8. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower almost all the way down, up a little, down, all the way up, down, 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 and then just relax. Okay, so rolling onto my belly. If you have little hand weights or balls, you can use them here. If you don't, that's fine. You'll still feel your triceps, I guarantee you. So you're gonna lie on your belly. Hopefully you can see me still, yes. And the arms are gonna be behind you, okay? And I'm holding my balls or not. My feet are pressing down into the mat and I'm really squeezing my bum to activate my glutes. And I wanna activate my core so that I don't get into my lower back. So my head is just looking down towards the mat. I'm gonna lift and then lower. So I want my hands higher than my hips. If you're doing this really well, if you don't have the balls, that's okay. Just squeeze your tricep. You won't be able to shampoo your hair tomorrow. And if you can't, then you know you did these really well. Two more. And now you can pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 8 more here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then just relax. So another exercise for your glutes. I forgot to say this is kind of bellies and buns day today. I'm going to angle myself out a little bit more so that I can have more space. I'm going to take one hand on top of the other and just place my forehead on my hands. So my forehead on my hands. My legs will be open more than hip distance. My pubic bone's pressing down into the mat. I'm going to bend my knees, bring my toes together, and I'm going to lift up to the ceiling. And then I open, I bring my toes together, and I squeeze up. Out, together, squeeze up. Out, together, squeeze up. Exhale on the up squeeze. So out, together, squeeze up. Out, together, squeeze up. Out, together, squeeze up. Out, together. And I'm going to stay up here. I'm going to squeeze up, squeeze up. Eight more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And now from here, I bring my legs zipped up tight together, so they'll be tight together like this. I'll still have my forehead resting on my hands. And pressing my forearms and my elbows into the mat to help me stabilize and activate all the muscles behind my shoulders. I lift my feet off the floor and I'm just gonna swim. So just like a flutter kick, but I'm really, really, really controlled in my upper body. So I'm not sort of flinging myself around. Everything's kind of happening below my waist. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Reach legs long. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Now we're going to change it. Open, close, open, close, open, close. Open, close, open, close, open, close. Now out, cross, open, cross, cross, cross. That feels different. Forehead down. 8, and 7, and 6, and 5, 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and then just relax. So holding inner thighs. If you're super flexible, you can bend your knees and your feet will most likely touch the floor. Or you have really, really tight hips and they don't. But this is still a really nice stretch for your inner thighs. I'm just going to lay here for a sec. Just letting the weight of my feet pull my feet towards the floor. And then I just bend my knees a little bit more, bring my legs together, and then I'm just going to press myself up. Okay. forearm, and just come up and down here. So up and down, up and down. Other option, one leg extended, up and down, up and down. Third option, both legs extended, up and down. So you pick the option that works for you. Try to stay open across your chest, hips stay nice and square for 8 and 7 and 6 and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and then we'll switch sides. So choosing the option that works for you, you can be here. Oops. We'll go 8 more here. 8 and 7 and 6, 5, 4, 3, insert my elbow, 2, and 1, and then just rolling down. Just a tiny little burst of cardio before we finish. I'm going to have my hands on the mat just so I don't slip, so I'm going to get a great view here of my bum. But floor jacks, open, close, okay? So you go ahead, I'm going to turn the other way, and here we go, open, close. Try to use your core, so you land really light on your feet. Here's an option. If that doesn't feel good, keep going. Okay, if you need to do this, that's fine. Okay, otherwise, up on your hands, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just relax for a sec. Push back into shell stretch. Come forward again, and mountain climbers. If you need to be off your wrists, high knees. Okay? If you need to do it slower, more like a march, you can do that as well. So, pick your options. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming back down onto our mat. I'm going to fold mine in half. A bit of a princess when it comes to my tailbone on the floor. Legs are going to come up. My head will be down. I'm going to pull my knees in and then lower down. Knees in and lower. Knees in and lower. So you're going to pull your knees in towards your chest. Whatever feels good for you. You have your legs extended. If that feels good, you can have legs extended, top the floor, up, top the floor. Of course, that makes it a little more challenging. You can keep the knees bent, top towards the floor. Whatever works for you. If you don't like that at all, imprint, release, same idea, pulling up on the obliques, just a little bit less range. So we're gonna go 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and feet to the floor. Take right ankle, cross it over left knee, hands behind your head. Actually, I'm gonna keep one hand on the floor here because I'm on the floor today. I'm gonna come up and across, and then lower down. Up and over, and then lower down. And lower, and over, and lower. So I'm gonna go forward here. 4, and 3, and 2, and then 1. On the next one, I'm gonna add my lower body. I come up, and I lower, and up, and lower, up, lower, up, and lower. 4 more here. So 4, and 3. If you need both hands, 2, and 1. Now we're gonna pulse here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, Change sides. First one is just up and across. Over and lower and over and lower. So I'm trying to keep my hips nice and square. And lower, over, and lower. Four, and three, and two, and one. Now we add the legs. Up, top, up, down. Four more here. So 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Little pulses. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back down, knees in. Just rock gently, side to side, loosening up your lower back. And then arms come out to the side, and you allow your knees to fall to the right, and your head will just turn left. So just getting a stretch here. And then using your core, slowly come back through the center. Knees fall in the other direction, and the head turns. And then using your core to come back through the center, I'm going to roll myself all the way over and bring myself to a seated position. And that's everything for today, so thank you very much for joining me. Have a great day and a great weekend, and we'll see you again.